So when I got banned, what happened with the ban is I was making $1 million a week in net profit. And it wasn't that it was it wasn't like I would show up to Vegas every weekend and every weekend leave $1 million richer. It wasn't like that. It was like I'd go for, one session and win $3 million net profit. And then I wouldn't come back for 3 weeks. And I'd come back and I'd win $5 million. Then I would leave and I wouldn't come back for 5 weeks. So when you average it all out, it came out to $1 million net profit a week. Then they started to ban me. And it was like, imagine my job is to go to the casinos and make money, right? But then they ban you. It's like getting fired. It's like, okay, I gotta go find another place of work for my specific skill set. Right. And if you're a carpenter, then you're like, okay, I gotta go find somewhere else to do carpentry. I gotta go find more houses to plumb if you're a plumber, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually it was like all of the places to do carpentry or plumb or whatever my skill set was wouldn't take my work anymore. So I was essentially out of work. And then there are still casinos in the world and in America that will let me gamble. And generally those ones are kind of smaller casinos, like in Colorado, okay, right? In Oklahoma, in Texas, in Florida, a couple in New Jersey, Reno. There are a handful of casinos in all these different cities in these states that will let me play. The problem is that the limits are so low that it almost isn't worth it. I have to have too much exposure, and it's a lot of work. Whether I'm playing $10 a hand or $250,000 a hand, it's the same amount of work. The ROI is so much less that it's really not worth it. And you also have to go and learn the system of each casino a little bit. They all have their own version on how they build out some of these games. So I started to have some pretty big limitations, and I had no choice but to find a new line of work.
Right, and these casinos they're talking to each other essentially, right? They have a list of, this guy's beating us for this much, we can't let him play here.
They all do communicate, they all share information and notes. And on the side, everybody that's an executive in every casino has always been in the casino space. So if they're an executive, for example, at MGM, 10 years ago, they were an executive at Caesars. Mm-hmm. So their best friends, their wives, their husbands, their daughter or son is also now in Caesars, even though they left and went to MGM. They just call their best friend and they'll be like, hey bro, let's grab some beers tonight. By the way, what's up with this guy, Mickey's beating you too? So